bidder at the amount of $7,200. That's the recommendation coming from HLPC for electrical work that's being done at the pavilion. Didn't seem to be too many questions about this at the Committee of the Whole. Are there any questions this evening? Carolyn Fredericks is present. Sounds like the difference in the cost between the two bids would be taken up by the Gunther Family Foundation or by the Columbus HLPC. If there are no further questions, I'll entertain any motion from the council.
Motion to accept the electrical contractor Volkswagen for the fireman, or I'm sorry, yeah, for the Fireman's Park Pavilion electrical project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Volkswagen Electrical as the electrical contractor for the Fireman's Park Pavilion electrical project. Any discussion on that? If none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. We'll move on to number 7. Consider and take action on the contract with Terra Venture Advisors for the real estate services for the Highway 89 state projects that will be coming up. This was reviewed at the Committee of the Whole. The contract amount is for $50,950. These costs, including any cost incurred by the city for staff time, will be reimbursed by the Wisconsin DOT when the project is completed. Seems like the DOT has had a chance to review the contract. It's boilerplate language that's similar to the agreement we used for the James Street project in 2017. Any questions on that? I did have one question. Kim is here. Where does the funding come from this between now and the time the project occurs?
There we go. The Capital Projects Fund will take on all the expenses for this. At this moment in time, it obviously wasn't budgeted for, so we'll be using reserves to cover any of the expenses that we have for this year. Because they're all reimbursable from the state, we basically track all of that, submit it to the state, and then get reimbursed once the project's complete, which then replenishes the Capital Projects Fund.
Okay. Thanks, Kim.
You're welcome.
Any questions from the council on this? If there are no questions, I'll entertain any action from the council on item number 7.
I'll make a motion to approve Terra Venture Advisors' proposal and their contract to provide real estate acquisition services for the State Highway 89 project.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on that motion? If none, Pat, could you please take a roll call?
Ryan,
Aye.
Tylen,
Aye.
Gray,
Aye.
Johnson, Reed, unanimous.
Thank you. On to number 8, consider and take action on request for city to consent to assignment of developers agreement for the Columbus Commerce Center development. As noted in the memo, Attorney Johnson was contacted by representatives of Investors Community Bank, financial institution that has enacted the process of acquiring most of the properties within the Columbus Commerce Center from the current owner. The change of ownership will require some involvement from the city, most notably consenting to the assignment of the developer's obligations and benefits as set forth in the developer's agreement between the City of Columbus and the Columbus Commerce Center LLC. So the bank will now stand in the shoes of the Commerce Center for the duration of the developer's agreement. Did you have anything to add to that, Attorney Johnson? No.
Only if there are questions. At the Committee of the Whole meeting, I gave a very broad, general kind of gloss over of where we are right now, and perhaps I didn't answer all of the questions that you had at the time. The reality of what is being requested of you at this time is basically this is a feel-good proceeding on behalf of the bank. The assignment has already taken place. The one relevant piece of information that I left out at the last meeting is that after there are actually two pieces of information that I could have given you that would have made this a little bit clearer, I think. The third amendment to the development agreement is what is at issue here, and that development agreement goes all the way back to March of 2012. And that is the agreement that the city and the former developer have been working under since 2012. That is the agreement that allocates the increment from TIF District Number 3 for the Commerce Center property to the developer. In 2014, the developer refinanced its entire loan package with Investors Bank, who is the current loan holder of the Commerce Center property. And as part of that refinancing project, the developer assigned its interest in the development agreement to the bank. And the city consented to that agreement at that time. And what that did is that provided that if the developer ever defaulted on its loan to the bank would contact the city would then start paying the bank directly instead of paying the developer whatever increment they were receiving. That's been going on for the last 2 or 3 years. The pledge agreement from the developer has been called by the bank. The bank has been receiving the increment for the last 2 or 3 years. So now what has happened is the next step on the default of the former developer, the bank has now come in and has taken control of all of the property out there. Instead of going through the rather complicated foreclosure process, the developer agreed to turn over all of the land to the bank. So the bank now owns the land. The bank already had the controlling interest or a secured interest in the development agreement that the city has been part of only in name for about the last 6 or 7 years. So the bank is asking the city to consent to this whole arrangement, basically so it has a document to put in its file, and it has a document that says the city's going to keep paying the increment to the developer, or sorry, to the bank as it comes in. That's really the only issue here. The development agreement itself is a recorded document that's been in place since 2007, and it can't be changed unless there's mutual agreement on both sides, the developer and the city. So that last change coming in 2012. So this is really just kind of a procedural motion for the benefit of the bank at this time.
Thank you, Paul.
Paul, quick question. Is it all the property out there, or was there some that they don't have?
It is all of the property. The pledge agreement deals with the increment for all of the property. The mini warehouse parcel is not owned by the bank, and neither is the grocery store parcel. But all the other parcels are now controlled by the bank. I think that's correct.
I only have one question. Who drafted the agreement?
The attorney for the bank.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions from the council on this?
This will expire 6/30/2021.
The development agreement does not expire itself. The increment payout expires, I think, in if Kim is still back there, I think it's 2023.
Yep. Any further questions? What's the will of the council? Entertain any motions?
I move that we approve the assignment of the development agreement.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion, a second, to consent to assignment of the developers agreement for the Columbus Commerce Center development. Any discussion on that? Voice vote, okay, Paul?
Yes.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. On to number 9. Consider and take action on applications for the operators licenses for the term of July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2021. We have 2 names in our packet, Natasha M. Smith and Thomas J. Davis. Any additional, Pat? Just the 2 listed? Okay. Any questions on that? If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve those 2 operators licenses.
Motion to approve the operators licenses of the term of July 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2021.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the operators licenses as read. Any discussion on that? If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Licenses have been approved. Number 10 is consider and take action on claims in the amount of $344,504.89. Any discussion on the claims? Any questions on the claims? If there are no questions or discussion, I'll entertain a motion from the council to approve the claims as presented.
Make a motion to approve the claims in the amount read.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the city claims in the amount of $344,504.89. Any discussion on that motion? If none, Pat, could you please take a roll for us?
Tylen?
Aye.
Gray?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Reed? Ryan?
Aye.
Unanimous.
All right, on to report of city officers. Patrick is on vacation this week, so I don't think he's going to Skype in a report. I didn't prepare anything. My printer's not working, but I did want to thank everybody who's responsible for the 4th of July celebration we had last week. Obviously, the 4th of July committee puts work in all year long to prepare for that event, for the parade, fireworks, etc. And along with that, we have a lot of city departments, including law enforcement, fire, and also DPW, that contribute a lot to setting up and cleaning up for that event. So thanks to everybody for another great, successful Independence Day celebration in Columbus. So anybody else have anything up here to share?
I just want to thank Boy Scout Troop 99 for helping DPW the day after the fireworks, cleaning up the park. So it was quite a mess this year, I heard. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of civic organizations that put a lot into that event as well every year. So, all right, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned for a short break, and we'll return with the committee of the whole meeting. Thank you.